I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows. The interior can be... I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me. Understood. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving...
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security. You are hereby Your ship is not permitted to leave until you remit payment for your fines and submit yourself. Only after your smoking corpse is thrown from an airlock will we lift...
Captain, I would not recommend...
All right. I'm feeling generous. I'm transmitting the idea of a productive, law-abiding employee so you can see... Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the... Pain...
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I request...
Right by us. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while
What was that?
Are you new here? Oh, that... Much...
Entering the labyrinth's the easy part. Making it back out. I'm still trusting your plan on that one, Captain.
Lead the way, boss. I got your back. Trouble in...
beginning to identifying.
Get in there, troops. For Monarch. For Halcyon.
Heads up!
Fugitive's a fugitive. Let it go.
Feeling legitimate, are you? Because I'm not.
Everything in my life has been leading up to this point. I believe I am ready for this.
After all you've done, all the work, your misguided crusade. That crackpot in any... No call. Sophia should be the one wasting her time. Thankfully, you're in a prison all... Is... I... in... Absolutely. Halcyon after all. Why must I always do everything?
Get me out of here!
You made it. I can hardly believe my eyes. You didn't have to do this, you know. No, I expect... You've left the board in tatters, but Halcyon is... You and I are going to have... Earth has gone dark. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago?
They've been in...
Earth is only an idea to us. But that idea is the bedrock the colony is built upon. If people were to find out it's gone dark, the shock could be too much to bear.
I don't want to imagine what'll happen once news gets out. Let's just keep this between us for now. Earth isn't going to help us. No one's going... I had hoped your fellow colonists might hold the key to saving Halcyon. I'll do what I can. It's time I return to my lab. I only hope you know we were going to save this colony, you know. Now, I don't know what to think. I always suspect...
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the iconoclasts spread like wildfire, and Graham was able to bring many of the smaller Terra-2 townships into the fold. However, his zealous obsession with spreading the word blinded him to the needs of a growing organization, and the movement was unsustainable at scale. The iconoclast way seemed to work best, and ultimately petered out on Monarch. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. The destroyed Adrenatime synthesizer became a symbol of the board's cruelty and a rallying point for Wells and his scientists as they sought to build a more humane, ethical Halcyon. They cleared the dead from Gorgon's laboratories and repurposed them to aid in the crucial work of solving the colony's nutrition crisis. Unfortunately, their best efforts would not be enough. What began with hope and promise eventually fizzled out. The Gorgon Project's final explosive end was bittersweet for Olivia Ambrose. She wandered the colony's fringes alone, searching for others like her who despised the board and meant to destroy them. In time, she found Phineas Wells and his cadre of scientists. Unfortunately, their best efforts would not be enough. The destroyed Adrenatime synthesizer, even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of the rediscovery under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to but for all that, Olivia found purpose in Wells' project. She was always in spite of everything. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown, with the dissolution of the board, Ruth Bellamy found herself without the two constants in her life. The dissolution of the board did not mean, as the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what? After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange, Bertie struck due to the board's dissolution. Many of the Prophet's old customers, your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the Vicar, he knew there were many in the... Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati. The stories of her... Nyoka returned to Monarch to take an... The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities. Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed... As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he was never able to come to terms with his own past, troubled by the revival project yielded mixed results. Wells died before he could see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a small, petty faction squad. And what about you? The unplanned... You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon.